Hey, everybody, and welcome back to Hardcore Heroes. Before we get too far in here, we wanted to show off some cool artwork that was done. Do we have? It was done by. I don't want to pronounce his name wrong. Is it Chronican?
Matthew
Not Chronican.
Berger.
Yeah, Matthew.
Yeah.
Kronos. Kronos
Yeah.
5. 6.
It's Matthew.
4.
It's the same guy who did the Chimera
Right,
fight.
right. I was just trying to get his
Also, our
username.
Our characters.
He's
Right.
done everything. He's like the official Neil artist at this point.
Might as well be.
Yeah.
Anyway, so these are some of the drawings that he did of the scenes earlier. This is Kine and the tiger that he temporarily befriended. Here, the text is a little small to read, but this is just some quick sketches of the meeting with the dragon. Here is, I don't know what the hell you're burning. Oh, these are basilisks that are being set on fire and being battled. Here we've got some more basilisks in a cave. I don't know who
And
the
the
giant
troll.
person standing behind the
The troll.
basilisk is.
Summon troll.
Oh, it's the troll. I was trying to figure that out earlier. That's the troll.
Yep.
And last but not least, more inside the cave, killing of basilisks and Malachi almost being turned to stone. You can find these in much higher resolutions where you can actually read the text of this dragon and everything on the subreddit, reddit.com/r/Koivu. And details there, including if you want to talk to the guy or whatnot. So that's that. Let's get back into game. It is still raining, so let's turn the rain back on. Today the rain has picked up a little bit. It's no
Wow.
longer light rain, it is now heavy rain. Still no lightning or thunder, but it is wet and gross, and
I'm
Jeeves is
glad
developing a bit of a cough.
Cool. I'm glad I got the umbrella.
Yeah.
This is
I
miserable.
have a cloak.
Whose idea was it to walk?
Yes.
Well, I'm doing fine. I have an umbrella. I don't know about you,
Are you
Malachi.
complaining, Malachi?
I'm not complaining.
Ah, good.
Let's go. We've got to be close to Stromheim.
You guys continue your journeying, and
Oh, so it's a new day, isn't it?
it is a new day.
Okay, Van is going to cast Solipsism and create a carriage with 2 horses.
All right, everyone, please make me saving throw versus spell.
People can repeat the save every round, by the way. Let me check. I believe it's versus spell. And
They
they, have
can?
to pass. They can repeat it every round.
So it's, we can just keep going, right?
Yeah.
Because I failed.
Make a single
I
attempt to
failed too.
believe each round. That's right. You can keep doing this forever.
There we go.
Sending-
Second round.
Saving
So
throw
if you
versus
guys
breath
can
weapon.
do it, breath
Breath
weapon.
weapon.
Yeah.
Fucking weird. All right. So eventually, if you guys sit around for 20 minutes, everyone will be guaranteed to believe it.
Yeah.
Jeeves is going to be the big one here on how long it takes him to believe the carriage exists, and then you're not just pulling his leg.
It's like, no, Jeeves, seriously. Like, that's not just a blob of cloud I made. That's a carriage.
Okay.
Oh, after 2 minutes.
His
Yeah.
save, Jeeves' save is breath weapon is a 20. He needs a
Oh,
natural 20.
Spell, not breath weapon, right?
Breath weapon.
Sean said
It's
breath
like-
weapon.
It says breath weapon. Hold on. It says... Solipsistic illusion must make a saving throw versus breath weapon modified by the magical defense adjustment for wisdom.
Yeah, okay.
Weird.
So
After
after
2
half an
minutes-
hour, Jeeves still does not believe the carriage
I-
is real. He's standing there with his umbrella being like, Master Van Helsing,
Let
I
me
never
try
expected you to
something.
try and pull me a prank on me
Hold on.
like Master
I
Malachi.
have an idea here. I step onto the front of the carriage, because the front of the carriage is jutting out a little bit. It's where you would drive the horses, right? So I just step on, and he'll see me step into the air. And I say, Jeeves, you just have to believe. And I hold out my hand for him to grab it to try and step on.
Oh, I'm not a wizard like the two of you. I can't just levitate myself like that, Van Helsing.
Jeeves,
It's okay.
I'm-
You pulled a good prank on me, my lord.
Jeeves, there's a carriage. Keep trying.
Wait a minute, Malachi Ban. Jeeves, I'm no wizard. I can't conjure any magic. And I believe, after 2 minutes, I believe the carriage. So I step on it. You can believe us. It's real.
Does he really need a 20, Neil? Yeah.
He needs a 20. Of course, my lord. Whatever you say. I'll just walk alongside the carriage. I could use the exercise.
Are you sure, Jeeves?
I'm quite sure.
Oh,
But 8 or 10 minutes later, as you guys are walking, you just notice Jeeves quietly steps onto this, opens the door and steps in the carriage and shuts it without saying anything.
What are you doing, Jeeves? Someone needs to drive. I think.
Oh, sorry, my lord.
I
steps
think
back
I-
out, runs ahead, climbs up, slips off, climbs back on. He's all caked in mud and sitting
Yeah.
out front holding the umbrella and,
Yeah,
driving the
think-
carriage that's driving itself.
All right,
Until this
so
moment, Kine drove the carriage, and he just makes place for Jeeves and let him take the reins.
The question is, what do the giant spiders think about this when we drive past? To see us all like sat down 5 feet off the
we're just
ground.
levitating.
I think for people who don't believe it, it's kind of like a translucent. They can see the thing there, but it's not
Yeah.
real to them. Like
Ghost carriage.
it's like
Ghost
an
rider.
illusion that you see through, but you can still see that there's
The
an
best
illusion
part
there.
is some of them will like rub their eyes and be like, "What?" and then they'll actually see the carriage.
I mean,
Right.
we just spawned the Legends of the Ghost Carriage.
Yeah. Wait, do they see us inside if the carriage is illusory to them? Like if it's translucent, are we visible from?
These are the questions that will boggle your mind as you continue to drive.
Jeeves, while you still couldn't see the carriage, could you see us while we were inside?
Excuse me, my lord, it's very loud out here and cold.
I think he asked, and I repeat the question.
The window was quite easy to see through. The rest of it was, murky. My eyes aren't what they used to be. It's hard to see you even when you're just standing in front of me in the rain.
Fair enough.
All right. Let us know when we get to the road.
All right, you
Yeah.
guys get to the road.
Okay, Van, can you cast Nap on me? I want to go in. I want
Sure.
to take a trip into Stromheim.
Can do.
Can you wait here?
Wait,
for
we're
the
not
train?
we're not right next to Strom. We're at the road, right?
You're at the road.
Yeah,
Maybe
we're not
we
at
should-
Stromheim.
Let's head north, and you never know. Maybe I let slip about some of our deeds when we were in there past. So maybe the city's opened up its gates, but we'll see. If not, we'll just
somehow
head
I doubt
back
it,
and I'll-
but,
I think we shouldn't approach the city in a ghostly carriage.
that's true.
We could.
Maybe
head-
how about why don't we start heading down to Cauldron? Malachi, I trust your ability to travel without being killed. So we can just nap you here, wait for an hour. Or I actually can't nap you today.
Also, didn't you say? Do we want to walk to Cauldron?
No, we'll get the.
No,
take
well,
the
we can take the carriage down to Cauldron, then Malachi can head
Yes.
north from there if he needs to.
I just think it's worth doing some research about these crowns. Don't you think?
I mean, what do you think you would find?
Who they belong to?
And what? Well, what do we do?
How would you do the research on it? Also, bear in mind, there was an attempted assassination on the queen. I'm not sure if taking a crown into that city would be a good idea.
Yeah, but look at them. They've probably been long lost for thousands of years. They're probably well known to the noble houses.
Also, if the city's closed, nobody's allowed in or out, why would somebody just now be attempting to appraise this crown if they have lived in this? Like, where would you have come across this crown if you've been living in the city?
Yeah, no, that's a good point. All right. Well, I mean, I was just going to head to the library and do some reading, but I guess it doesn't seem to fit with our plans. So
So you guys are heading
Maybe
to
make-
Cauldron?
yeah,
Maybe
we'll-
we shouldn't. Maybe we shouldn't drive through Cauldron in a.
No, we can dispel it once we get in sight of the city, but we have a ways to go.
Maybe we could dispel it before we enter the city, or before
I mean,
we
what-
are in sight range.
Something.
What
I
are
don't
you
know.
scared of? Fuck Cauldron.
Cauldron was the one where we almost picked a fight with somebody for hating on wizards, right?
Yeah.
I think the whole city is hating on wizards.
Yeah, maybe we should. I don't know. I think it might be a good idea not to.
Yeah, fine, but don't bend over backwards for them.
Oh, I'm not going to bend
Anyway.
over backwards.
We're heading to Shirebrook anyway. It's going to take a long time.
All right, so in your carriage, you can make the journey to Cauldron within the day.
Cool. So once we're like a decent ways out of the city, I'll dispel the solipsism, and we'll just go the rest of the way on foot.
When you guys spot Cauldron on the distance, which is not a great distance since it's raining and all that jazz, but
That's
you know,
fine.
when you can see the town, there's no one around. They're not going to be able to notice.
Okay.
And you guys walk into Cauldron. The town is quiet. There's no one really out or about because it's raining and it's miserable, and their lives are terrible.
Mm-hmm.
And you make your way to an inn in town. Does anyone remember what inn you guys almost got yourselves kicked out of?
No.
I don't remember the name, but I imagine we would recognize it by sight.
Yeah.
I would
Maybe.
definitely recognize the man because I slapped him in the face.
Also, I think we are heading to the inn where we slept. That
Yeah,
kind.
we have another inn that we have a
There
good
is there are 2 inns in Cauldron: the Slumbering Dragon and Fourth Heaven.
I think we slept at this.
I'm gonna guess the fourth heaven
Is what? Which
You know,
one?
we flip a coin.
is the good one.
Okay,
Actually, yeah, I'll flip a coin for this really fast.
Okay, then heads, slumbering dragon, tails, the other one.
Sounds good. I
Okay.
need to grab a coin actually.
You could
Yeah,
just
I'm just gonna roll a die. Yeah, I'm just gonna roll a die.
D2.
Here we go.
One.
It is. I didn't call anything. Which one's the odds?
Odds.
Okay,
is-
odds is heads. Fuck it. It's tails. We're
Odds
going
is
to the-
heads. What does that mean?
Yeah.
Okay, I rolled a die
Odds-
instead of flipping a coin. I don't have a coin on me.
Odds is the slumbering dragon. Evens is the fourth heaven.
Yeah, we're going to the fourth heaven first.
All right, there we go.
All right, you guys pull into the Fourth Heaven.
Is
Um,
it the man that I slapped once we get inside?
I think Van and
He
Kai-
is not there. He is not in this building.
Okay, do I recognize this building? Because I feel like I might be able to tell them apart once I get to them. Like, by name, I can understand being confused, but I think once I see the buildings...
No. How many inns have you been in and how many towns in the last 6 months? Give me an intelligence check there, Van. You slapped the guy, so I'm going to give you the check here.
Sure. That's a pass.
Yeah, this is... You walk in, you're like, oh yeah, I slapped that asshole right there.
All right, Van walks in, looks around, goes, nope, and walks back out the door. We're going to the Slumbering Dragon.
Okay.
I told you.
You guys get back to
Hey.
the Slumbering Dragon and immediately recognize the flea-bitten inn that you stayed in before. You're like,
Excellent.
yeah, this is the right amount of discomfort. This place is terrible.
This whole town sucks.
Yeah,
Let's get
fuck
out of here
Cauldron.
as soon as we can.
Look, I'm telling you, man, Limestone was pretty nice.
Yep, Limestone was
Like,
pretty
we
cool.
were
but
we
it-
were only there for a couple of days. Nobody gave you shit for being a wizard. Like, it
You
was
know what?
good
You've got
times.
to walk. You've got to walk through the middle of nowhere to get there. Though there's not even a road.
That's true.
We forgot to tell the gatekeeper about our findings.
It's fine.
Ah, yeah, that guy. He's a cool guy.
Yeah, he was a pretty cool gate guard.
All right. All right. Unless there's something in particular that you want to do or listen in on or find out about Cauldron, we'll just move on to the next place.
Yeah, I mean,
Um,
I think
we-
we're
I
just.
It's a pretty decent sized town, right? Cauldron?
Yeah.
I think so.
I think we're gonna look for an appraiser. As long as we're here.
Let me get my notes up about Cauldron.
If not, we can always
Sort
try
of
Misty
Green
Rapids.
County. It is a small town. It's 2,500 people.
What about Misty Rapids?
2,600 people.
Okay, so these are pretty small. We
They're
might want to go back to
shitty little small towns.
Okay, well, I think we should head back to Thornwood then. Maybe Thornwood will be open, and if not, we can go back to Shirebrook.
Okay.
So are you guys going to solipsism your way there, or are you guys going to rent a carriage, or how are you getting back?
We could rent a carriage.
Yeah, just rent a car to take us to Shirebrook.
Yep. That will save me a 4th level spell.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Neil, in Cauldron, when they're renting the carriage, I will look to buy some arrowheads.
Sure. Do you remember the prices for them?
I think it was 1 silver for 10.
I think you paid in copper.
I think
oh,
I-
1
I
silver
paid
per 10 makes
half an arrow price because it's not a full arrow.
Right.
You paid like a
I
fraction
mean,
of...
you guys are loaded, so why don't you just pay whatever you want to pay for them? Because you're
Yeah.
carrying around thousands of gold worth of crowns and jewels, and
That's true.
our time
Surely
is
that's in Kind's monthly costs as well.
for arrowheads.
Yeah.
You know, you guys are so wealthy at this point. I don't even give a fuck. It's
Okay,
part of
it
your
was
monthly expenses now,
1.5
Klein.
It was 1.5 silver. Right.
Sure. I mean,
But
yeah. Let's not worry about silver when we're talking thousands of gold in your bags.
I just write.
To
Yeah,
Shirebrook. then.
arrowheads.
To Shirebrook. Let's just count out how many days it's going to take, because there's nothing you guys want to do along the way, right?
Except check the road,
arrow.
check the gate on Thornwood.
Right.
Yeah.
But let's just
I will
see.
make-
It's going to take you a full day if you leave early from Cauldron to get to Mist Rapids. Maybe 2 because the roads are all muddy. Actually, the next day it stops raining, so that'll be easier for you guys.
Ah,
For that raining noise.
Yep.
So that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's say 5 days total to get to Shirebrook.
Is Thornwood closed still?
Hold on, we gotta roll random encounters, man. You might get killed before you even get there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Neil, the first 2 days I will make some arrows. Is there anything happening?
The first 2 days, absolutely nothing happens. They're super boring days. Apparently, all the monsters are hiding out at home because it was raining, and they're all just drinking hot
Okay.
cocoa and hanging out.
I'm feeling a chimera, guys. Come on.
Shitty monsters.
I've got a
I
I do have a spell for this.
Oh
Neil,
my
I can
god!
roll for my
It is a
arrows.
chimera.
You roll for your own what? Arrows?
Arrows.
Do it.
I hope you have fireballs, Nick.
I got one fireball.
So 2.5 days later, you end up in Thornwood. The gates
are
to
open?
Thornwood are open.
Excellent.
Hey!
But they
Nice.
are also completely choked with refugees.
Ah, shit.
Well,
The town is teeming with poor people begging in the streets, and the town guard looks to have extra mercenaries added to their forces.
Where are you guys from? I say to like a group of family. From
They give you the
Shirebrook,
name of
or-
a village south of Shirebrook.
Is
okay.
everyone here from? Is Shirebrook abandoned? No.
No. Just there's no food
Too full.
there.
Yeah.
It's
Is
something.
Shirebrook starting to clear out? Like, is it still overcrowded with refugees, or did they all leave?
No, I left a week ago. I don't know what it's like
Hmm.
today.
Did anything happen in the last 2 weeks or 3 weeks?
Well, we
Do you
we
have any
find out.
food?
I don't have any
I
food, but Van very discreetly kind of pulls out a few silver coins and says, "Go get some."
The person takes it, looks at you appreciatively, and says, "What was the question?"
Did anything significant happen in Shirebrook in the last 3 weeks?
A man arrived a few days ago saying that the Countess started arresting the thieves, the people that were stealing food and breaking into places to get money. That the jails are just about overflowing.
Do you mean the Baroness?
Yes.
Nothing else?
Sounds like business as usual.
Yeah, things don't.
That's the word from a few days ago, at least.
Do you know anyone who came? Maybe we can find some people who just recently arrived.
Maybe. Thanks for the information.
We'll be able to find out ourselves the day after tomorrow.
Yeah. I go up to the carriage driver. Is it late in the day at this point?
No, it's middle of the
Okay.
day. You had to spend a night on the road between Misty Rapids and Thornwood.
Okay, so I suggest to the carriage driver that we just pass through Thornwood. Like, we might stop for an hour or so to get some stuff, but we shouldn't
Right.
stay here.
He stops to
You know-
water the horses, get them some feed, get some food for himself. You know, you take a little break.
While
here.
we're here, do we owe it to give the Countess a chance to hear us out?
The Countess is dead.
Yeah.
Well, the new Countess.
Is there a new Countess? Or is there
I
a new
assume so.
Count?
There's a new Baroness.
I will ask a local. I go to a tavern or an inn and ask the innkeeper. Say, who's your successor to the late Countess?
Well, at first her son was, but then he was murdered. Then her cousin was, but then he fell off the building and died.
When
To be honest, right now I don't know who's in charge.
Okay. If I've still time.
But-
The keep is in the city, right?
Excuse me?
The keep is in the
It's
city.
the tall building that you can see out through that window.
Okay.
They opened the gates, which I don't quite know if was a good idea. Now our streets are flooded with poor, starving people.
Well, I just want to ask the guards. They should know who is in charge, right?
I suppose the guards would know who's in charge. No?
Okay.
it's gonna be
thank you.
that temporary town guard guy.
Thank you for your help, and I give him a silver.
He smiles. All right.
And I will head, towards the keep and ask the guards at the gate who is the current ruler of this town. Well, because
They tell you that the interim ruler until the queen can step in and figure out who should actually run the place is Lady Leatherback.
Who was that?
You know how these nobles work? One house falls to pieces, all their members die, and someone else has to take over. She's a noble from around these parts. 60-something years old, gray hair, big belly, fat thighs, likes to wear high heels even though she's 80 years old. I don't know, she's kind of a bitch.
While Kine's doing all this investigative work. Actually, no, finish the scene first. Right.
You know,
Thank you, and good luck. It seems you will need it.
Fuck this town, Avon. Let's just
Yeah,
leave.
I mean, yeah. To be honest, I don't. What are we gonna tell them anyways? What good will come of us telling them anything?
If everyone in her family line is dead anyway, then I doubt they'll care. Whoever is in charge now, it's probably the best thing that's ever happened to them.
True.
The Countess was a good ruler.
Yeah, maybe, but she's dead now, and so is all her immediate family, so no one's gonna care about who killed her.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah. I don't. I just don't think there's any good to come from telling anybody. Like we've tried already. What's happened?
We should at least warn the people. We should tell Rohana and maybe Tyrus what we know about this being in the Shadow Mountains.
We've already told. I've already
I've
spoken to Rohana.
I've shown Rohana. Yeah. Like I've
Yeah.
shown her firsthand everything we know.
And we should maybe share some news on the Chimera, but we should. I hear Tyrus is a good person, or at least a very good sheriff. He should know about this.
Kinda, I already spoke to Tyrus about it. He seemed to think it was Narges. He didn't seem to think there was such thing as there could be a dragon there. I spoke to Aldrich about it. He said much the same thing. So
Tyrus is also very lazy. He doesn't do anything anymore.
Well,
let's just get back to town. Let's deal with our own shit for once.
we could go to the Count and tell him. Otherwise, tell him.
We could
Why don't we
tell
just
him
get
that.
him? Get him.
But that's
Either-
kind of in the opposite direction of where we want to go right now, isn't
yeah.
it?
Either we go to
take
Newport
a
or we
ship.
go up to Talon.
He could still take a ship from Newport to Redport.
Does anyone remember the revelation we had after speaking to the Golden Dragon? Fuck the nobles. Who cares what the Count thinks? Let's go to Talon.
Still,
I think I'd be more than willing to go there once we're finished with our business up by Redport.
Yeah, agreed.
We're going to be in need of new leads at that point, anyways. I think
Yeah.
stopping by Newfort might be in our best interest.
let's get to Shirebrook first.
all right, you guys set off on the road with your carriage driver, and you take the rest of this day, camp out at night near the Ashlands, and then spend the next day getting to Shirebrook.
I will
Cross
make
off 2 more days on our chart
I will
here.
make 2 loads of arrows more.
It is now October 29th. It is a Saturday. We are almost at the end of the month. It is well into autumn now, and it's starting to get a little chilly.
Only a few months behind real life.
Yeah. But you guys have made your way into Shirebrook. As the cart comes down the road, you guys see the familiar town off in the distance, all the normal things, but there's a couple of guards that are blocking your path, and the carriage driver gives like a knock on the carriage. And then Jeeves, who's sitting next to him because he doesn't feel comfortable riding in the back with you guys, says, My lords, there's some soldiers in the road.
Van will jump out and
Yeah.
go to greet them.
Kind to.
A couple of town guards you recognize since you all live here are stopping the wagon, but their expressions change from kind of grim to fairly pleasant when they see you, the 3 of you step out. One of the soldiers steps forward and goes, Van Helsing, Malachi, how's it going?
Good. What's this about?
Well, you missed a lot.
I'd
If it's just you guys in the wagon, you're welcome to come on in.
Sure. Could you catch us up? We have been away for a little while.
Sure. I'll walk with you.
All right.
And he proceeds to tell you the story of what happened in Shirebrook while you guys were gone. The refugee problem here got kind of out of hand. The Baroness started jailing people, but the jails filled up. very quickly. You know, there were people stealing food, there were people breaking into houses to get money to buy food, and the Baroness just said, you know, jail them all. And then the jails filled up, all the dungeons filled up, the sheriff's station filled up, and so she decreed that we should make an example by executing thieves. Tyrus refused to follow that order. He said he's not executing someone for trying to feed a starving child. And the Baroness demanded that he do it, otherwise he would be executed.
Oh shit.
I can think you understand that didn't go too well. He refused.
What happened?
Where's Tyrus?
The Baroness showed up with her captain of the guards at Tyrus's little at the sheriff's station in town. Kelvernon Corwell, the aged but still fantastic fighter, came, and there was a little bit of a confrontation. She demanded again. Tyrus refused, and she told Vernon to kill him.
Let me guess. Tyrus killed him.
Yeah, I mean, he disarmed him, asked him to step down, pulled out a dagger, disarmed him again, told him to step down.
That's
Baroness
good.
told him
You
to
have
do it
me worried.
anyway, and so, you know, Tyrus killed Vernon. Killed Vernon.
See, you had me worried for a second. For a second, I thought I almost believed somebody could fell Tyrus in combat.
No. So the Baroness went back to the keep with her soldiers, and Tyrus and Styx got together and kind of roused the people. And God, it must be 3 days ago. 1, 2, 3. 3 days ago. 4 days ago. They stormed the keep, killed the other retainer knights, captured the Baroness, and yesterday Tyrus went with her to Newfort to turn her into the count there to, you know, for murdering people over stealing food, which is not a great thing. So Tyrus and Styx are gone right now, and the town's kind of...
How did they leave? We might want to go after them actually.
They went by foot through the Tether Wilds.
What about the wizard? Aldrich in the keep?
Well, Aldrich is still in the keep as far as I know. He didn't show up to the battle. You know, the siege happened at dawn. I don't think Aldrich was awake, or if he was, he didn't get there until it was over, or he just sat the whole thing out. But, you know.
You think he's still in his tower? Didn't notice anything?
The name was Sturge. If I said Styx, I meant Sturge for the ranger's name.
Tell me, who's running the city in Tyrus's absence?
Nobody?
Hang on a minute, though. Tyrus hasn't got the authority to just go in and arrest the Baroness.
I mean, if she was
Wait a minute.
executing citizens.
That's her
I
right.
mean, define authority, Malachi.
He...
Well,
he
yeah,
did-
it's called the feudal system, and she has authority over this town and its inhabitants.
You know,
Malachi-
you say
Well,
that, Malachi,
I think
but
his sword has authority over anyone who gets in his path. So
Maybe
Uh,
so, but is the count not going to execute him for
Look,
arresting a
look, man. All I can tell you is what happened. Tyrus seems to think that the Count's a reasonable fellow and will honor Tyrus arresting this person for murder.
Count's a dwarf? So
Malachi,
Yeah, dwarves are fairly long-lived and wise. They'll take the long view of this. They know that this isn't good for us. The Count has always been a reasonable fellow, and if this guy is half the man his father was, he'll be fine.
you know, Malachi, I have a lot of respect for Tyrus. You know,
Yeah, me
I
too.
may have referred to him as a bit lazy, but to be honest, I can't say that I blame him for his actions. We might want to try and catch up to them, see if we can make sure that he's okay.
Yeah, because... it was...
He's got a 2-day head start on you guys. It's
I
almost
can-
the end of day today, and he left yesterday morning, so...
We can force march indefinitely.
Whatever Tyrus led the rebellion, it was treason, but I think probably for the right reasons.
Look, all I'm saying is I want to catch up to them and offer to.
Whoops, no, hold on. I misread my notes. Tyrus left the next day. He left 4 days ago. My
Okay.
notes were about Tyrus are from a different day.
Are there any
Pop-
ships going to Newfort anytime soon?
Guard
See, probably
shows?
not
You'd
four
have to go down to the harbor and find out. I'm just
think
watching
it
the
is
road, making
faster-
sure that no one comes to, you know, fuck up shit that's already fucked up.
Look,
Then
I'm-
I think it is faster to ride there.
Probably. Look, I'm just saying I want to go after them and make sure offer to be protection for Tyrus. I'd rather he didn't get killed.
Ben, I have a bad feeling about this. It is true, he did this for a good reason. But bringing leading a rebellion and bringing the countess to the
I agree. He made a very dangerous move. That's why I want to go there and make sure he's
I have a bad
okay.
feeling about it. In the best case, the dwarf will let him go. In the worst case,
There's nothing we can do, Van. Kine's right. Either he's been let go or he hasn't, and if he hasn't, there's nothing we're going to be able to do about it.
Look, Tyrus can take care of himself, you guys. I know you want to check up on him, but he did almost single-handedly storm a keep and capture a baroness. And kill like 4 knights.
Could you take me to the keep? No.
No. Van, I'm on your side.
Walk yourself to the keep, asshole.
Oh, all right.
Jesus.
Van, I'm with you. We should head to Newford. We have to go there anyway sometimes.
We
I
do
can't
have.
believe we're getting involved with this shit again.
Look, I don't care about the nobles. I'm doing this for Tyrus, Malachi.
I'm going to go. I'm going to speak.
Look, we
Malachi,
plan to go to Newfort in the end anyways. We can take a ship from Newfort up to Redport.
Besides, the dwarves probably know where we could find some mithril weapons, or at least better equipment.
I walk to the keep.
Okay.
Okay, Kine is checking on his house. It's not pretty.
Your house is complete, indeed.
Nice.
It is currently occupied. There is a family. There are 3 families of 6 living in your house.
in a little hut.
Yes, there are 3 families of 6 living in your little hut down here in Riverside.
Man, what happened to the people you paid to protect it?
And I
They
just
probably
said
let them in.
we should protect it until it's finished. So.
Oh, okay. That would explain it.
Okay, I see the families living there. I go past the house, look at it, take a look through a window, see the family happily living in the hut.
I don't think they're quite happy. Like they're
Yeah,
sitting on the
18
stoop
people.
like this. Just
Yeah, 18 people all squeezed into this hut.
Okay,
That's
not
just
happily,
where-
they are living. They are not on the streets. And I just shrug. I probably wouldn't be here often.
Oh, shit.
And I just go back to bed. I knock on the door. No, before I go, I knock on the door.
the door's open. There's a couple of people sitting on the stoop, looking out of it. They see you standing and looking at the hut, and they just they make eye contact with you. But it's that desperate look of like, what? What's going on? Why are you looking at my house?
Yeah, I just it's my house, and you have 3 families, and I will. How many people are sitting outside?
6.
Who are the heads of the families?
Excuse me? There's no one was living here. It was empty. It was abandoned.
No,
They said.
just who are the heads of the 3 families? Fathers.
It's okay.
oldest.
We'll leave. We'll leave.
No. Just say. I am not doing anything bad to you. You can live here. Not that I would use the hut anyway.
There's Beatrix. There's Rohana, and there's Ash, and those are the heads of the 3 families.
Rohana. What a coincidence. You have the same name as the wizard in town. Well, anyway. And I rumble a bit in my pouch and pull out 6 gold coins. Use it good.
The woman blinks kind of surprisingly and takes the coins from you, and
I give her a big smile.
looks at you suspiciously. Doesn't
probably
trust
seem
you.
pretty intimidating.
Thank
And
you.
I just leave off giving them the coins.
Huh? They seem confused and suspicious, but you walk away and leave them to their own devices. Let's flip over to Malachi. You make it to the keep. The gates are wide open, and you can see a whole bunch of kids like sitting on top of the wall, kicking their feet over the end of it. And they look down at you and go, "Who are you? The Baroness isn't home. I, gatekeeper, refuse you entry."
What happened to the old
magic
gatekeeper?
missiles.
What happened to the old gatekeeper?
I killed him because I am Tyrus Bellows, and I have a magic sword.
Tyrus Bellows is a wanted criminal.
Tyrus Bellows is the savior of the people, and I am he.
Well, I'm afraid I'm going to need entry. So. Thanks
You
for
may
luck.
be allowed entry, but there is a troll toll. You must pay me 500 gold before I let you into my castle.
I'll throw him like 5 silver.
Ooh, yay! They scatter to go pick up the silver that you throw.
You should have thrown the sword. To its sword.
Yeah, I mean, the gates
So,
are wide open anyway. They're...
Yeah. So Neil, I want to think back, right? In the time I've spent with Aldrich
Yeah.
and the time I've spent with Tyrus, what do I think their relationship is like?
Minimal.
Like do they actively not get on, or
I think your opinion of their relationship is Aldrich sits up in his tower and Tyrus hangs out in the town, and they rarely cross paths. Like they of course know each other, but they have very little, like, you know.
yeah? But I mean, you'd get an impression of like mutual respect or a lack of respect. I think.
I think there's a mutual respect going on between them, but maybe not friendliness.
Okay. So I want to
No.
go up to Aldrich's door,
Okay.
knock on it. Is there anyone in
Go
the keep?
away! I am not
Aldrich.
accepting any. Oh,
Let me
that
in.
voice sounds familiar. Who's there?
It's Malachi. I need to speak with you.
He comes down, cracks open the door, peeks out, and goes, "Oh, well, you certainly have picked a fine time."
Well, yeah, and so have you to lock yourself behind that door of yours.
Rabble,
Please,
overrun
I
the
need-
keep. Do you know what I have to do to get food these days? Oh,
I can only imagine how difficult for you it must be.
so much disorder and chaos.
Can I come in?
I suppose that's just you, right? No invisible
just-
stalkers standing behind you.
I don't think so. I hope not.
All right. He opens the door just enough to let you through, and then immediately closes it behind you to prevent anyone invisible from following behind.
So, what happened?
You didn't hear?
Well, I heard that Tyrus Bellows overthrew the Baroness.
Yeah. He walks up to the second floor with you as you guys talk. Yes. Tyrus came
Presumably-
through and slew a dozen men, all the knights. Took the Baroness hostage, and he and that Sturge fellow took off the next morning, heading for the New Fort.
And
Good
this
riddance,
entire
I say.
time, you were...
Have you ever been in a siege?
Can't say I have.
They attack without warning. By the time I was out of bed with all my spell components around me and coming down the stairs, it was over. Tyrus was already in the middle of the room, sword to the Baroness's throat.
And you don't strike him down for that?
I am a scholar, sir. I am sworn to...
Protect or work for the Baroness, am I right?
I am a counsel and advisor to whoever happens to be the current lord of the keep. By the time I was there, the late Baroness's reign had already ended.
Well, she wasn't dead.
Might as well be.
How big is this room he's got?
It's maybe 15 feet across.
I assume he's got a bathroom up here, a toilet.
You don't know where it is, but there's probably some sort of privy, or maybe it's just a bucket that he tosses out the window. But without modern plumbing, it's pretty minimal. Also,
what have
it's a 3-story tower, so
So what have you been doing this whole time?
same thing as I'm always doing.
What's going to happen when Tyrus returns?
I don't know.
Well, who's going to be in charge?
I don't know.
Is there anyone left in the Baroness's family? What about her brother, the gatekeeper? Or her uncle?
Oh, her brother's dead. She has a different brother, a younger brother, that I hear is living up in Misty Rapids, working as the captain of the guards there.
Yeah.
He's been disowned. He might... I don't know if he'd want to piss off his new overlords. I hear the wizard out there is a bit of a crazed man. I wouldn't want to betray him.
No, indeed.
We'll probably get assigned a new lord to rule over us, and things will go much back to the way they were beforehand. These things always work themselves out. These minor problems.
I'm trying to take in the situation, Neil. How sort of prepared does this guy look? Does he look completely off guard?
God.
Were this to be an assassination, I would call it chase. Not
Exactly.
guarded and not simple.
What does that mean, Chase?
It means that, he is ready to fight if something goes on, but he's not expecting a fight at this very moment. He's clearly a wizard. He's got his spell components. He's got all his things around him. And, he's not always the most trusting man.
I'm gonna go look out the window.
So what are you here doing?
Well, I just wanted to speak to someone who might know more of what was going on.
Ah,
I can't say I'm surprised to find that you've just locked yourself in this tower, though.
and what have you done during all of this, huh?
I've
Run
done
off,
everything I could.
running around. What did
Look.
you go do? You go pet another little bird.
The nobles of this entire kingdom really have no appreciation for the work that myself and my companions have been doing. And honestly, I'm quite sick of serving them.
Maybe you're a wiser man than I expected.
Well, but surely you are not. Are you not in service? Well, maybe you're not. Maybe you've been pulling the wool over everyone's eyes this whole time.
I have an arrangement that suits me. My studies are funded and taken care of, and in exchange I provide certain information and the occasional spell. I have set myself up quite nice. I have an observatory, I have books, I have a warm roof over my head, and food brought to me by servants. I have the things I need so I can conduct my studies without being distracted by the minor things in life.
I guess so. I don't know whether to do it or not.
Yes, Malachi, kill him.
Alright, being the angel over the shoulder then.
No, Malachi, don't do it. You'll regret it forever.
Take his spell book.
I'm gonna look
Ill-gotten
up.
gains are best not gained at all.
I look out the window, Neil. I try and find a point on the ground that I could, if I wanted to dimension door up into this room. I want to see a point where I could do it from and be confident.
What's the range of Dimension Door?
Okay, yeah.
Take your righteous place at my side.
That's an evil fucking voice, man.
Yeah.
30 yards per
That would
level
be
of
like
experience.
an old evil wizard for a one-shot.
630 feet. Or 210 yards. It's quite,
Right.
quite far.
So yeah, you have many places where you could Dimension Door into this room from.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Okay. Alright, well, Aldrich, I assume Tyrus is going to be back at some point, but if not,
If he doesn't get himself killed.
well, yeah, he probably, I mean, I assume that the Count's just going to arrest him. He's a dwarf, he's not exactly reasonable.
Nobles don't usually take kindly to commoners capturing or murdering their folk.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
suspect Tyrus will have a very hard time in Newfort.
So assuming Tyrus doesn't come back then, seems to me that someone needs to take over rulership of this town. Given that you're the only one in the keep, do you see yourself
Plenty
as
of
the
other
lead-
people live here now. All the peasants have flooded in, taking up all the nice quarters. The trappings of this place have been destroyed. The Baroness's clothes and food and loot has been taken. The place has been run into the ground. Only my...
Like leading up to him.
Trying to find my appropriate music for this. I've changed up the way I do music, and so it's a little harder for me to find the things that I want now. Where is it hiding?
This is so very much a devil angel situation.
Yeah.
And the angel just kind of like heard Aldrich be a dick there and was like, I fucking give up.
All right. So the bottom floor is actually just a doorway to a staircase. It's not much of a floor at all. So we're not even going to call it a floor. So the second floor, the first floor above the doorway, is his basic study. The room above that is his bedroom, and the room above that is his observatory, which also has notes and that sort of thing. So right now you're at the bottom of the staircase, and it's maybe a 6x6 or 6x8 little room with a coat rack, little pegs for you to put your hat on or whatever, place for you to kick off your boots or wipe them off on a mat. There's not much down here, just a spiral staircase that leads up.
Okay, so would it be audible, do you think, to cast a spell down here?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Then I will I'll cast invisibility. So what happens immediately after that?
1 sec, please.
Actually, the little devil in his ear is Georg.
Yeah.
We are at a good time to take a break, Neil, if you want to do that.
That's actually a good point. All right.
Yeah.
So you cast invisibility. Aldrich doesn't seem to respond to anything that you're doing. And why don't we go to break, and we'll see what Malachi does on the other side of it. See you guys in a bit.